everybody, welcome to my channel, Intuitive Soul Rising. I'm Rachel Sawani. I am a spiritual medium and intuitive soul coach, and I channel different beings of love and light to give messages for soul growth and ascension. And today's message is an energy update for February 2022. So today I have with me a few different guides who stepped forward, and I'm just curious to see what the messages are for this month. I've been getting some downloads all through the night and kind of in the days leading up to this. I also have had around me for quite some time now, for at least 2 or 3 weeks now, Freddie Mercury, who is pretty famous in and of his own right, and he's the lead singer of Queen. And I've done a recent channeling interview with him, and I've gotten to know him quite well, and he's been working with me in many different ways, but he's going to be around for a while. So I'll probably be mentioning him quite a bit throughout the different videos that I do. He's definitely having me change up my style a little bit and kind of open up to new creative potentials as to how I view myself as a channel, how I present my messages, and just bringing in a different creative element and style to the way I do things that are more unique to my vibration and probably his as well, since I feel like we've really attuned our energies to each other. So there's been a lot of shifts and changes in my own perspective of myself and how I relate to him and who he is and how he sees me. So that said, he's definitely around, but I feel like him helping me to kind of bring forward these specific guides who wanted to step forward today for the purpose of giving this energy update. And the main guide here right now is Mother Mary, and she, I'm hearing, works with Freddie, but I was kind of already picking up on this through some other experiences that have happened to me in the last week. She's definitely around Freddie a lot, and she's I feel like one of his guides as well, even though he didn't mention her in the last video, but she's kind of come into play. She showed up for a lot of clients that I've had recently. She's obviously a really big guide for people, and she really represents the mother energy, the divine feminine energy that is rising and integrating into the collective right now. And yeah, I'm hearing that she's worked with Freddie in the past, and she's been one of his guides, especially around the time of his passing. So I do hear that they have a close connection, and he's bringing her forward now to speak on behalf of the collective. So I'm going to tune into her energy to see what she wants to say, but I do also feel Buddha and see Buddha in the background, and Joan of Arc energy as well coming through. So let's just start with Mother Mary and see what she would like to share with the collective about how the energies are shifting and changing, what to expect, and how we should tune in right now as light workers. So she's saying there's a higher message of love and light coming through. There's a peak in the energy fields right now. She's highlighting the beginning of the time period of February 1st to February 15th, but there's a emphasis on the first 11 days of that time period. So from February 1st to February 11th as an energy portal opening up on the planet right now, and it's giving love. It's giving love to the planet. She's giving love to the planet, but it's not just coming from her. It's a collective energy. It feels like part of the galactic realms, a part of the Ascended Masters. There's just a beam of love shining down on the planet right now, and there's a lot of red energy also associated with that. There's a lot of passionate energy associated with that. I'm seeing a flame being lit within. So there's some representation of red associated with the color of the tiger energy. That red is the symbol of the tiger for the year of the, I don't know if it's the zodiac, but just the year of the tiger is this year's embodiment of energy from the symbol of the Chinese New Year. Each year is a different animal, and each animal brings its own symbolism and energy into that year. So the first 15 days of February is really when this New Year celebration is going on, and the color of red is also considered to be lucky to wear red around this time. So if you want to heighten the energies around this time and really bring in that luck and bring in that gift of manifestation, I'm hearing wear the color red. And I did not know anything about that until just a few minutes before I popped up on here about the color and the symbolism with the Year of the Tiger. I didn't really know anything about the Year of the Tiger until today. I started getting the downloads and synchronicities. But many of you know from my videos that I like to do my nails. I like to get my nails done. And here I am. I picked out intuitively the color red, and I haven't worn the color red on my nails in like years. I can't even remember the last time I did. So I thought that was an interesting choice, and how that choice somehow aligns with this video, even though it wasn't planned in any sense of the word. So color red, wearing the color red is for luck and manifestation. So she's just highlighting that. She's referencing that, the meaning behind that. I feel like there's going to be more that comes through around that, maybe from Joan of Arc, or why her energy is represented here. But going back to what she was saying about the collective, there's a portal of manifestation. There's heightened energies right now, and the theme is really love. And she's also showing me Valentine's Day, so she's showing me that symbolism there too. It's almost like the color red for Valentine's Day. I'm just making that, she's helping me to make that connection. It's all about love. It's all about heart connection. So she's telling us to make that holiday our own, symbolic for our love for each other, our love for the world that we live in. She's highlighting the word grace and humility, and vulnerability, and our abilities to share our love with the world. So she's wanting us to kind of use these gateways and holidays as opportunities to gift love to the world, to bring in love, whether that's through connecting meditatively with the collective consciousness, or just giving gifts to others and being a light bearer for others in the ways that we choose. The emphasis is on giving. So especially in that time period. So that's interesting. And back to her shining the light beam, or the galactics, and she has ties to them as well. It's just coming from the heavens is what she's saying. The light is coming from the heavens, and many more light workers are stepping forward as spirit guides us this time, and she's pointing to and offering their services, and she's pointing to Freddie as to why many of us might be feeling more drawn to connect with him, or other beings of love and light that have once lived, that have passed over, that are wanting to work more directly with the collective as part of their life plan, as part of their experience or teaching, or just to offer their insight and their expertise in certain areas. So the sense is like we might be drawn to work, as I'm drawn to work with Freddie, or as Freddie was drawn to work with me, and now I'm seeing why how similar our vibration is in a lot of ways, and why we are fit for each other as guides, or as him for a guide for me, and vice versa. Or not me as a guide for him per se, but just in general, just how we're a good energetic match is what I'm saying. Why we work well together is, or co-create together, to clarify. I don't feel like I'm guiding Freddie Mercury in any way, but I do feel like he's learning or getting something of growth out of the working relationship, and it's more about sharing his message and helping others also to bring out the best in them. So, but outside of that, yeah, so there's a lot of guides stepping forward now. So they're showing that we might feel a draw to work with a certain icon or personality that we knew or that has passed, and to invite them in to make that connection, and or just to notice what we might be drawn to, or what guides might be around us that are not just ascended masters, but even ascended masters. Who are we wanting to work with, and call them in more. So that's just an offering that's there for us. They're showing that the veil is thinning, so more guides are showing up, and it's easier to connect with them through our heart, through our openness to receiving guidance. So that's one thing that is shifting and changing, is that there's just more opportunities to work with more different people in that way, and expand our view of who our guides can be, of who people on our team might actually be. And so going back, I was just going to see if there's anything else Mother Mary would like to say on that. And she's just emphasizing love for yourselves also. So this is also a heightened time for self-love. So activities that encourage you to develop a closer bond with your body, a closer bond with yourself and your knowing of who you are, your higher self, your higher aspects, and just kind of getting a sense and feel. That's the feeling I'm getting. Just getting a sense of feel for what parts of yourself might you be neglecting, or might just want to explore a little bit more in depth, or learn to love even, or work on healing with. Inner child work, if you're drawn to that as an example. Now is just a good time to kind of reflect on the areas that you are maybe feeling a lack of self-love, and hone in on gifting yourself that. So being the gifter and the receiver is always an important awareness to have, of when you're needing the love for yourself, or when you're wanting to gift it to others. And so I'd like to talk about the new moon energy as well, and some of the things that I've been picking up on, and then I want to see what Mother Mary or the other guides have to say about that. It is the new moon rising, and I was reflecting on how the energy felt the other day or night, and then I was hearing new moon rising, but I wasn't fully aware that it was even a new moon. I just kept hearing new moon rising, and so I did find out today that it is a new moon. So there's that energy too, and I'm hearing that energy is about giving birth, giving new life, recreating yourself, recreating your ideas, or being aware of the ideas that are birthing or wanting to be birthed through you. So there's a highlighting of new creative expressions, new ways of sharing yourself with the world and offering your services to the world that have a heart connection, that give you a sense of like you're connecting with your heart, and you're connecting to the hearts of others. So that loving connection is between you and others, and how you gift your services, or how you gift things to the world, is really what's going to amplify that energy of love throughout the collective. And I'm hearing, and they're showing that's what's really being asked for right now. That's what this portal of manifestation is all about. It's manifesting love and an abundance of love in the world, helping to lift spirits, helping to create the way of like new opportunities for growth, healing and learning, and activations of those higher codes of love and light that want to manifest throughout the collective. They're showing, I feel like it's a heightened time for self-expression and to be more vocal. That's what I'm also hearing. to be more vocal about what you need. So they're talking about like personal relationships or in relationships. Now is a time to not dim down your light, but to be more openly expressive about what your needs are. And that might mean being assertive in situations that you would normally just be quiet, sharing your point of view when it is needed, when you might normally just keep it to yourself, in a loving way, in a non-judgmental way, but being more willing to speak your truth is also kind of in the current of where the energies are taking us. So I was also getting some downloads, and I think they were coming from Freddie last night in my dreams. And one of the downloads I was getting was about the divine masculine energy rising. But then I was also feeling a lot of the mother love energy wanting to come through some of the messages I was channeling for myself, or just how these messages were coming through. So I was curious, and I want to talk to Mother Mary about that, what that means for the collective. What is the message coming through with the divine masculine rising? I felt like that has to is somehow connected to the new moon rising message that I got. And she's saying, yes, yes, indeed. The divine masculine energy is integrating. It is peaking. It is rising. It is fulfilling a need within oneself to love all of who one is, to combine the aspects of the mother energy with the masculine energy in a way that presents strength, confidence, and empowerment. So she's going back to like the motherly energy. Typically, or in the years past, leading up to this time, we've been talking a lot. We've been bringing that energy forward. We've been talking about the divine feminine energy rising, but we need to also acknowledge. Now is a time to acknowledge, and she's showing me the symbol of the tiger and what that represents. The strength of the masculine energy within us. The dominant traits of the masculine energy that give us power and strength, that give us courage and bravery. So that is what she's saying the tiger represents. It's like king of the jungle. According to the Chinese, it is the king of the jungle from what I read, even more so than the lion energy. But they're very closely tied together, she's saying. It's more of like a cultural view of what you consider is the stronger of the two, but they're very much tied together energetically with that like regal, royal cat-like energy. And so tuning back into where she was going with that, she's highlighting the mother love, like the love of the mother as the queen, and the divine masculine energy as the king, and she's showing those two being married within. So having a comfortable relationship within, whereas if these two, imagining you have a queen and a king living together within you, and they have a very good relationship, they have a good marriage, they support each other, they complement each other, they build each other up, and they don't hinder each other's growth. It's symbolic of the twin flame union, the divine union within. You have to marry the two sides, and they have to get along. And they cannot be fighting each other. They cannot be competing with each other's energy, and they cannot be stealing from each other or exploiting each other's energy. So she's highlighting dominance, and I want to tune into what she's trying to say with that. She's saying that the dominant qualities of the masculine energy, or there's a shift in how we view our, I feel like this is maybe for the year ahead, but it's starting to happen, our shift in view of when we look at the divine masculine energy, up until now it's been very distorted. We've been taught that it's almost been, there's a dominant or power over kind of quality of that energy to the more submissive feminine energy, or that feminine female energy needs to submit to the masculine, because those traits that have been embodied in masculine traits that have been portrayed in our culture for so long have really overemphasized certain aspects like competitiveness, power, control, things like that have come to be more dominant and in kind of like unbalanced, and maybe like tuning the feminine out, which is more of like the intuitive side and the sort of going within side, the self-reflective side, the quiet side, the quieting of the mind, versus the doing and needing to be more action-oriented. And we're talking about energy here. We're just using female and masculine to represent different types of energy, when in reality it has nothing to do with gender. So this is nothing to do with men and women. We all have qualities of both within, and it's just a matter of what we give our attention to and how to find that balance within. So the masculine energy is rising, but in a way that is powerful, but not trying to subdue the other. It's powerful in its own right, and the other is powerful in its own right. So it feels like there's a kind of meeting of the minds, and that's really the intention of tuning into how some of those qualities are rising within you. And I really feel she's talking about women or people that might be in our community more tuned to the intuitive aspect, and not being so action oriented, not making those steps like action, not speaking our truth, not feeling like we have the strength and courage to do that. So taking on more of the masculine and giving more life to that side of ourselves, allowing that side of ourselves to speak up, that wants to speak up, to show our strength, to show our power, and not to dim our light. That's just such a message that keeps coming back. It's really a time to shine even brighter, even in the moments of fear as well, to just stand up for what you believe in. And I'm kind of seeing that's why Joan of Arc is here. I'm hearing she doesn't necessarily have to share a message, but she's kind of wielding her sword, showing that she is a good representation of the balance of these two energies, and her courage and willingness to fight for what she believes in is really, this is where the collective is at. It's like gathering this courage. I feel like this month is all about gathering the strength and gathering the courage to show up, to voice your opinion, and to be willing to fight for what you believe in, fight for the cause and for the good of all, but showing your, in a way that's tied to showing your love for humanity, is you're willing to stand up for your beliefs and stand on the right side of things where you feel your heart lies, your heart being your ally. They're showing, stand as an ally to your heart. Like, where does your heart lie? Let your mind stand as an ally next to your heart. Let your mind do the talking for your heart. Let your mind make way for your heart to speak, or to shine through your words, your actions, and your deeds. Really, it's all about, the masculine is all about action oriented. So these two, she's wanting you to see your power with these two lined up with each other. So not to give too much of an emphasis on one or the other, but try to get them balanced. Try to see them and experience these energies in a balanced way, and that's going to help. She's showing that's going to help some of the like the charge of energy that's out there where people are getting upset, they're getting angry, they're feeling called to do something, but they're not always sure what they want, what it is they're being called to do, but they just feel a lot of this turmoil, this conflicted energy. She's showing that that is just like, it's like there's this fight kind of for rule right now, but it's happening on a world stage. It's playing out in the news and the media, and just this, there's this fight, but it's actually an inner fight, and it's this fight for equality, for balance, for wholeness, to come back into a form of sacred union, for this king and queen that live within to rule together side by side, complementary of each other, not in war with each other, not in conflict with each other. So she's highlighting that you're going to see stories about where you're going to see the divine feminine energy rising and standing in its power and its truth, and you're going to see the same with the divine masculine, although that's going to be more in the shadows. The divine masculine rising is more about us as a collective coming into alignment with our higher selves and being willing to express our truths to the world. So yeah, so I'm going to ask if there's anything else about that that's important, or any other shifts and changes that are happening that are important to know about. And I see Buddha kind of there and coming into view, and I'm curious what Buddha represents in this energy, in this time. A need to calm your mind, a need to, this is what Buddha is kind of saying and sharing, a need to live from a place of joy and inspiration, but calmness. So the feeling is like there's a lot of like jittery energy that might be we might be feeling excuse me, the next month. But as these, they're showing it like these peaks and valleys, So Buddha is just here to remind us that we need to learn how to tune into our higher awareness. We need to stay calm, and we need to take a neutral perspective, which means being able to look at everything from kind of a non-judgmental but loving perspective, but open perspective, to see the truth through the illusion without getting attached to the fear of it all. Yeah, so is there anything else on that, Buddha? And he's saying, no, it's just about, coming into alignment and learning ways to explore the inner realms as well, to pay attention to the inner shifts and changes that are happening, and to quiet the mind so that you can shift with ease and you can align with ease with your higher self. So it helps to keep you on your path, on a straighter trajectory, where you're not hitting so many bumps in the road, as each a little jolt through the collective, as with each news story, with each shift in events and changes. They're showing that there's a lot of like feeling of like, yeah, there's a win, and then, oh, there's a loss. It's like a feeling of moving forward, and then, oh, there's a step back. That's kind of what the collective is experiencing. There's steps forward, and then there's steps back, all related to the growth. But for us to truly hold space for the collective, to hold the correct energy for the collective to move forward, we need more Buddha. We need to be centered and grounded and balanced within, and that's going to help give us a feeling of calm and quiet through the turbulence, through the ups and downs of just even following the storyline and following the world news and how things are playing out, and all the emotions that can get involved with that, to not attach to those emotions, but to just be the witness, be the observer from that higher perspective of the mind. So he's here more for like a reminder to our higher self, to how to connect with our higher self during these times, because it feels like we need his energy right now. And yeah, it's all about balance. This month for sure is about balance and new creative expressions is what I'm hearing. And then the love, the force of love, knowing the force of love to create and sustain life and new life. And, as we go through the different phases of the moon cycles, there's new phases. So it's not just about that, but the beginning of the February is about new creations, creating new expressions. But the month is, there's a deep theme towards self-expression and being aware of self and highlighting the need to be more assertive in your actions and more action-oriented, and in speaking your truth, or at least becoming aware of what your heart is calling you to do. Yeah. So I feel kind of like a step away of energy for that, and I want to see if there's any other guidance from any guides, and I feel like Joan of Arc is stepping forward, and she's just saying to speak your truth and stand your ground, and stand proud, which is a similar message that I channeled from Freddie Mercury the other day with his video. It's stand proud in your truth, but it's just a very calm, energetic feeling and knowing of who you are and not letting fear win. Don't let fear win, she's saying. Don't let fear get the best of you. And just stay centered within. It's really about staying centered within and holding your ground, anchoring your light, and moving forward. She's showing herself taking a step, knowing that you have the armor of God on and protecting you, and not to be afraid of really anything. When you have love for yourself, she's showing, then you project love for others, and that love creates a protective force around you, force field to where only good things can happen from that. Only good positive things, positive outcomes, she's saying, can come of that for all you connect with. So I agree with that. So I think that's a pretty solid message for us for February 2022, with some of the shifts and changes happening, what to expect and how we can navigate those. And thank you, Mother Mary, Buddha, and Joan of Arc for stepping forward. Always thanking Freddie Mercury for helping me to connect the dots of certain things and giving me all the signs and synchronicities to know he's there and around. And yeah, hopefully you guys found something helpful in that message, and please do leave a comment this time if you did, and let me know what you got from it that resonated with you. Commenting and liking the video really helps to boost my ratings in a way, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's really one of my highest intentions to reach as many people as I can with my messages, and just help the collective as much as I can, and then also to get insight from you guys, what you're receiving and what you're picking up on, what you're resonating with, or what you're not resonating with. So I'm really open to receiving any feedback, and I like to interact with people. So it's really helpful for me in my growth process as well. So, and please do, of course, subscribe if you are enjoying my videos. For more content like this, do hit the notification bell so you can know as soon as something is released. I appreciate all of you guys. Love you guys so much. If you are interested in working more one-on-one with me, I do offer intuitive soul coaching sessions where we collaborate with your team. We meet your team of guides. We collaborate with them and work towards the things that you want to manifest, and just help you to see and connect with them more deeply so you can align with your higher purpose and life's mission. So please do check out the descriptions box below for a link to my business page and private Facebook group if you are interested in working more one-on-one with me. You can also email me, privately message me, whatever works for you. And yeah, so hopefully you guys have a great month of February. Wishing everyone the best in this new Chinese New Year, and love you all so much. Thank you. Bye.